Hello everybody, I'm Artosis and I am here in South Korea with the winner of Razer's King of the Beta tournament. How you doing, IdrA?
Pretty good.
Pretty good?
Yeah.
How'd you like this win first off? I mean, this was a stacked tournament, casted by DAy9 himself. Awesome event. How do you feel about the win?
Yeah, really it's awesome in general. It was most of the best players from the entire beta. Great prize pool, great sponsors, and just really well run in general. It was an awesome tournament. I'm really happy to win it.
Awesome. Well, let's talk about the games before we go too far. The group stage. What was your first match?
First match was against Tester. Obviously, I lost it. That didn't go too well, especially because I'd already lost to him in altitude, so, you know, that was depressing. And the games weren't so great. Cannon Rush, and then I scouted him. He went fast expand and then threw down like 7 warp gates, so I figured it was just a warp gate all in, or warp gate expand, or something like that. So I was going mass HydraLing, which holds that just fine. And then by the time I saw him switch to 2 Robo Colossus, it was kind of too late to respond, because Corruptors, they're not a snap response kind of thing, and they're not all that good in general. Yeah. Versus an all-in, just because you still have to deal with his ground army after that. And I was going Ultra, but it didn't get out in time, so I just lost to the Colossus army.
Do you feel at that point after you lost to Tester that, you know, he just kind of had your number for, I mean, he eliminated you in that other really great altitude invitational tournament. Was this something that you were like, oh God, Tester's going to win this tournament again?
Oh, it was depressing, obviously, but no, not really. I recognize, for one, that in tournament games, he always does, if it goes long, he always does 2 base Colossus all-ins versus me, because he knows I like ground macro, and that's a good way to beat it. So that I knew if I played him again, I would have that as kind of like an edge up. And also, it was still group stages. I knew I'd still advance, so I wasn't too broken up about it.
All right, and what was your second match in the group stage?
Second match was against Huck, so that was interesting. Yeah, he warp gate all in and won a game. His blistering stands is kind of silly. Then on Steps of War, he warp gate all in, and he lost because I knew he was going to warp gate all in. And then the third game, on Last Temple, he went fast expand and went 2 Robo off of 2 sentries because he is Huck. So yeah, I saw it in time and got Corruptors out in time, and he lost because, yeah.
All right. And so your final match and the decider, TLO. Tell us about that match.
It was a good match. First game, Steps of War, I think that was first. It was just a big macro game. I can't remember the details, it was a while ago. But anyway, I ended up with a bunch of Ultra HydraLing. I think he tried to do a kind of iffy timing push, and I crushed it, and was able to just overwhelm him with a better economy. He won on Kulas Ravine. I came out of the early game okay, which is really weird since it was Kulas.
Wait, on Kulas Ravine, you came out of the early game okay against Terran?
Yeah, I know, it's mind-boggling.
Did you just like guess what he would do, or?
I went 1 base Roach, and he kind of wasn't ready for it, so it bought me enough time to get a gold up. And then his Viking Harass didn't do so much, so we were okay there. But then I think he snuck an expansion and went Battle Cruiser. And so I saw it, and I was going Neural Parasite, but that was right after the patch, and I didn't realize just how bad the 12-second Neural was. So like, I would steal half of his Battle Cruisers, and then it wouldn't matter. So yeah, I lost that. The final game on Metalopolis was actually really exciting. Again, I forgot what happened early, but he ended up doing like a 2 base but really low SCV all-in, tanks and Thors, a bunch of SCVs, and then some bio support. And I just barely held it off. Like, I ran back for as long as I could, and then I actually pulled half my drones and a queen and all roaches, and I just barely held it. I had like 4 red roaches left after I cleared it. But it was pretty hard all in. He only had 2 factories. So I just counter-dropped, and that ended it.
Sounds like a very close series there. And then we had you go up to the bracket, and from the other side, we had Into the Rain and QXC at Terran players, and no European. What did you think about that? Who did you think was going to advance from that group?
Originally, I thought it would be the Korean Terran and Damaga, with probably Damaga in first. But I didn't realize just how bad the patches have messed with Damaga's mind. Like, I mean, the patches are really bad for Zerg, and it is not fair at this point. But I think Damaga kind of overreacted, and he's going all in every game just because he thinks it's so bad. And really, he'd be doing better if he just kind of bit the bullet and went with it, because he is a lot better than some of the players he's losing to, because he's taking those risks. So yeah, and White Raw, I don't know, the second phase of the beta didn't seem good for him. I'm not sure if he wasn't practicing much or what, but he didn't seem to be playing up to his level.
All right, so your first match was against QXC, right?
Yeah.
Why don't you tell us about how that went?
I was pretty happy with it. I expected to win, but it was a ZVT. After the patches, it's always dangerous. Let's see, on Lost Temple. Oh, yeah, I think he just opened some Hellion harass, and he actually got Hellion in my base, so that was really annoying. And I didn't end up too great shape. And I went Muta, but just light Muta, so he got Thors, I saw that. I knew he had a penchant for that kind of Thor, Marauder, Hellion kind of build, so I was going Hydraling. There was actually a little dangerous timing there where he might have been able to break me if he got into it, but I pulled back, I had creep out, and I was pumping units at that point. I think I had Ling Bane, Ling Muta, and a few Hydras, and he didn't think he could make it, or he didn't want to commit, so he just pulled back. But I had already had 3 bases up. I was going Hive. I got Ultras out by the time he got aggressive again, so from there it was a pretty easy win. I think I ended up parking some Broodlords over one of his expos and just kind of running him over. So that was a relatively easy game, a couple of dangerous moments. See, Steps of War was essentially the same thing. Oh, we both opened kind of aggressive. Like, I figured he would just go Reactor Hellion expand, because he does that almost every game. So I was doing some, like, 2-base light roach pressure, and I was going to drone behind that. But it turns out he was actually going Hellion Marauder, like a pretty heavy attack. Luckily, I'd been going